Today we got, oh yeah, he's got the album. This
Yeah,
is Jen's,
that's right.
by the way. We got Jen's here. New
Folks,
guest.
you look great, better than last time.
I don't know how to pronounce the album, so you introduce it.
So the album in question today is Anything in Return by Toro y Moi. I was at a record shop in New Orleans and I wasn't sure what to get, and this was the only album cover that I recognized, and I got it and I listened to it on vinyl. It was pretty good.
But
Nice.
I have not heard it, so he's going to be sharing it with me. This is the first type of video like this. You know, me and Jaren were in the dark for everything else. And I've seen this album. I've had it recommended to me from a lot of goats. This is the first goat that recommended it to me. We're just gonna, jump right into it as we do around here. If you want to see the whole thing uncut, Patreon $2 down below. It's just $2. If you can't afford that, what are you doing? You get to hear all the songs in their entirety. Let's just get into it. Track number 1, Harmon.
Is that I feel like it's a lot more like a lot of the albums that I've been introduced to recently have been like very like lyrically like impressive, and this one is more of like a
I got a boogie on my finger.
No, but yeah, just that with this album I don't really know like the terms for it, but it focuses a lot more on like the production elements, I feel like. And definitely the artist. I feel like he has one of those voices, arguably has one of those voices kind of like where it's not really that like necessarily pretty, but it's like you still enjoy listening to it, kind of like Louis Armstrong, that kind of thing.
There was definitely some hip hop elements in there with like some of the samplings and stuff like that. The biggest thing I'm feeling from that first song is it's like it sounds like what the album cover looks like, and it's all like really crisp, really clean. It reminds me of like, what's that one artist? It's one of your favorites. Yeah.
Oh, Keith Haring.
Yes, it reminds me of Keith Haring, and my grandma, I think, used to have some Keith Haring stuff in her house, or paintings like that. So it reminds me of my gam. On to track number 2.
What you made about the Nintendo, because I would be like really interested to like see like, oh, I wonder like what video game, like what is this guy into? Because I feel like like I don't know, it just reminds me of like, I thought of the Hyper Light Drifter soundtrack, and just how there's a lot of like, I don't know, atmosphere, especially at the end there. it's very like mindful of the sounds that it uses. It
Yeah.
doesn't ever like overload you with too many.
Like how it presents itself, like reminds me of just a really specific like aesthetic and a very like nostalgic aesthetic. I'm having fun with it.
Yeah.
Because it's so like constantly like it reminds me of like 2008 or 2009 or something like that. I don't know. It's like in such a specific way. Like if you focus on the squiggles and like squiggles, WarioWare, just because WarioWare art style and just like Nintendo Wii.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think I get what you're saying, like the kind of like nostalgic like idea, like because I don't know, this definitely does seem like this album cover like slightly altered. I feel like is a little bit. I would see that in my grandma's house.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think maybe not with a face, but I don't know. That's like obviously him inside of that. I don't know. Yeah, I get what you mean.
On to track number 3. Like the first one, like that one's my favorite. Just because lyrically, well, that's the first one I really got like into. That's the first one where I was able to like close my eyes and sort of keep track of everything coming in and out, which a lot is happening. Like a lot is happening throughout it. And I like when a lot is happening in my music. And I like that a lot. It's also like whenever an artist can make a song feel like you could step into it, because that's what I felt like I was at since, you know, I was in that genre. And I was looking around, I'm like, this is lit.
It's really good. It definitely, I just keep getting more of like what you're talking about, like the whole like nostalgia, the idea that it's all very like nostalgic while still being like, I don't actually know when it was like released.
Oh, wait,
Oh my gosh, 2013.
Really?
Yeah. That would make sense then. Dang.
Now we are on track number 4, Rose Quartz.
I mean, good thumbs up.
That one, I feel like for me, I like the previous song a little more, just because this one, easier on the lyrics. But it's good. I feel like I could easily put this album on like in the background while I'm doing stuff. I find myself dancing to it if it's in the background. That'd be a nice little time. I also like all the like I don't know what it would be called, but it's like the instrument that's like it sounds like bit crushy type of stuff. I think it might be a type of synth.
Toro is one of the few artists who can put in a song that's like 50% instrumentals, and I'll like still listen to it.
Mm.
Not everybody can do that. Yeah, I will say one thing about the album. It does kind of tend to be like a little repetitive. It doesn't necessarily like, I don't know, when you kind of listen to it back to back, they're still like distinct, but I don't know. I feel like they could have more of a kind of identity.
Two track. Little guys. That's the instrument, by the way, the little bit crushy thing.
Oh,
I feel like I see what you mean now about how his voice isn't like perfect, or it's not like it's no Sampha or anything like that. But I like that he used his voice over this because it feels closer to him.
I feel like, yeah, it's like certain songs that you kind of feel like, oh yeah, they're definitely, I don't know, just the artist maybe wasn't quite as like confident maybe in them, or like they wanted somebody else, but I don't know. It is really nice to, it's a very, yeah, I like his voice.
Yeah, especially when you're producing your own stuff. It's like, why not like sing or do something over it, because that will make it entirely your thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I like that probably the most in music. If you produce and do the vocals on your stuff, you got me. You're instantly ahead of like people who are like, okay, you just came in to sing and your team discovered the sound for you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I really respect stuff like this. It reminds me, one thing, Toriyama really reminds me of like Daft Punk in a lot of situations. Just like a really heavy focus on the instrumentals, and like he uses sampling too, which I do want to talk about his sampling. I really enjoy the way, I don't know, I really enjoy the way that he samples, where he'll kind of like he'll take the sounds and he'll like modulate them so they're like barely what they were at first.
yeah,
Which is something that I feel like, I don't know, like other albums do, but they maybe don't do it quite as well.
yeah.
And while I don't know, and while I don't think that it's like a bad thing to add in like almost like a just a straight like clip of of somebody saying something, I don't think that's necessarily bad. But I just really, I personally like it when an album is like, when they put in, yeah, when they do a lot of work.
Yeah. That's definitely, I feel like, yeah, I think that's the same for me. Track number 6.
I want to know what's your rating?
I think that one's my second favorite.
Second favorite. Okay. You still like was it the second track or
So Many Details was the
so many
one.
details? Yeah, that one's good. Hold on. Let me.
We talked for like 15 like freaking minutes. Go by the Patreon if you want to hear like all our yap. We talk about Rick and Morty.
Track number 7, Steadies. This is cool. It seems like it's diverged from the sound.
Nice. This I still has the adventure time in it. That one was a little. I feel like that one was a little weaker.
That might be my top 3.
What?
I like that a lot. I don't know what it was about it, but it was hidden for me. I don't know.
Dang.
It felt like different enough from everything else to sort of, I wouldn't say re-spark because it hasn't been sort of long enough. Like every like once in a while with albums, I'm like, okay, buddy, you've been doing sort of the same sound for 8 songs, and then they reel me back in, which I feel like that's the reeling that just happened, but they didn't really lose my interest.
It definitely. Okay, there's another. Toro has another album, and this is like I think that song. Not yeah, but I think Studies really reminds me of it. But it's like every one of the songs in here is really yeah, and it's like a lot more like I don't know, a lot more like classical like guitar. Like there's a little bit like there's definitely somebody in the back who's like going absolutely crazy with like a synthesizer.
Yeah,
But like majority of it is like a standard band kind of thing, and that's what that one felt like to me.
Yeah,
It just sounded like a more like indie kind of thing. Yeah,
I could see that. Track number 8, High Living.
You and me can be what we wanna be. Don't you let this come falling down on me. I don't expect anything in return.
Name drop. Ooh.
I think Grown Up Calls is, or wait,
High Life. High Living.
my bad. No, but I think High Living. I think that one is my favorite. Like in terms of lyrics, like I feel like that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
His voice is very good in that one. I really like how he
I
speaks.
I see the hype behind that one. That one was really nice and had a nice groove to it, which I like how all these have had that groove to it, sort of a funk to it. side like that.
Yeah, there is funk.
On to track number 9.
Now it's grown up calls.
Yep, grown up calls.
I'm alright out here with you. It doesn't bother me. You only take, you only buy. I can't get some, so I'm moving on. It's not enough. It's what I want. To me, it's fine. Coming for it to turn out wrong. Oh, it's not too common for it to turn out wrong. Always be by you. I know what you thinking. I miss you. Another drive, I didn't call. I'm so far. It's not too common for it to turn out wrong. Oh.
That one might be my new favorite.
I do really like that one. I noticed the lyrics are not like they're not like listed correctly on
Yeah.
Spotify.
That's the user error, just because Spotify grabs the lyrics through like a, it's not Genius, but it's something like Genius.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's like one of those, but the thing is that what that website has on Genius is people sort of time out the lines. So like they go, so like it's like, oh, he's speaking, and then they click this line, they click next line. So they time it like that. So then I think that's why Spotify chose this over Genius, so they could easily streamline it. But it's just people who don't write the lyrics out, right?
Oh,
Which that's
okay.
why some of the times I've turned off the lyrics on Spotify just because I'm like, this is annoying. There's like lines missing. That one wasn't too bad. There wasn't too many lines missing.
Yeah.
And lyric, like everything I liked about that one the most. I liked it lyrically, I think the most. Production
lyrics
wise,
are
I liked
really
a lot.
good.
He swore.
He did. I didn't know that he did. I've been playing this in front of my Mormon parents.
I was like, oh, he's gonna say it, and I was like, oh, that was like very soft.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was definitely I feel like I like understood a little bit more of what that one was about.
Yeah, it just sort of seemed like he wanted to be with this girl, but he can't. Which that's like the first one where like, oh, I get you.
Yeah.
Like all the other ones have been very abstract, which isn't bad,
Mm-hmm.
but
It's definitely I wanted to say this earlier, but just like it feels like I feel like with a lot of like his kind of like repetitive lyrics and not necessarily like having like a point or like a subject matter, I feel like that kind of goes back into the whole like I feel like the album might be like a nostalgia trip for him a little bit
maybe.
because I think I don't know.
I'd also I in my brain I categorize the ones where the lyrics are like just repetitive as like a part of the production at that point. Like I know I had this point on Government Plates a lot more. On to track number 10. Hey.
She knows I'ma be her boy forever, and she knows I'm gonna have it all out better. She knows I work hard, so she's gotta stress it too. I can pick a fight with you. She goes through it all, but she wasn't by herself. I'm the one that needs her help, but we can go by in days. I can't be going up to this girl wrong. When I look at her, she's all I wanted. She's got my back and I know it. She only does it cause she loves it. I don't waste your time. She knows I'ma be her boy forever, and she knows I'm gonna have it all out better. She's got my back and I know it. She only does it cause she loves it.
I think I think I have a new favorite. I think now that I'm settled down in the sound, I feel like all of these are gonna be my new favorite, just as they go.
Well, that one is just like, I don't know. I feel like it's so strong. Like it's so like
Yeah.
it's just like catchy. And
Yeah.
like that sound, the like that's such a unique sound.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Also, I want to know that like this is the one song that has like an outro that's like a little like it's not long, but it just has
Yeah.
some time to cool down, and I really appreciate that because
Yeah.
that's, I don't know, I feel like when you come on like that strong,
Yeah.
like full force, it's kind of, I don't know, it's really nice to have that kind of fade out.
Yeah.
I think that's helpful.
This is why I feel like if you want to show me your favorite music, show me an album. I can't, like, I think if once I settle down into the sound of like any album, I'll like the song that like is presented, because the first half, like first 3 songs, I'm like, these are good songs. I'll probably consider re-listening to them. But now that we're here, I'm like, well, 4 of these songs are going in my playlist. I'm gonna re-listen to this album 100%. Da, 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 da. But it's just like, I don't know. I feel like people underappreciate the power of listening to the full thing front to back.
I think that this one is, because I don't think it by any means is like a story album. I would even go far as to say that it doesn't necessarily even like I don't know. I don't exactly know. They were definitely made like at the same time period and with the same like sounds and everything.
Yeah.
They're made to be in an album, but I wonder about like, is the arrangement, like, did he make like a specific choice, or like how much thought did he put into that?
I feel like he has a choice, because I mean, there's choice in the way everything's arranged, because now we're seeing more like songs with like a female focus. Be like, oh, this girl did da 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 da.
That's
But
true.
before there wasn't. And I feel like every album is thought to be arranged in a way,
Mhm.
whether it's clear or not. Like even some mixtapes I've listened to, I'm like, this is clearly like there's some sort of curve. I also would like to say that maybe he's talking about the same girl from the track number 11, Day One.
More Childish Gambino.
Huh?
More Childish Gambino.
I wanna make you want me.
Yeah.
Won't you take it in? They weren't meant to hold you. The sheets are pushing. You gave me words to hold on to, so I just had to make this for me. I wanna make my life your life. I'll wake up with you and I'll give you right. It don't matter if it's cold outside. I wanna make my life your life. I'll wake up with you and I'll give you rides. It don't matter if it's cold outside.
What's 16 divided by 2?
8.
Because he ate.
That's what I'm saying. I like that one too. I liked it less than the others, but it still bangs.
I think I really like that one. I think it's really similar. I don't know, it gives off like similar vibes to like Cake. The synths especially, just like coming on really strong. Like, I don't know. Also those drums. I love I don't know exactly what it's called, but I love just how they're, I don't know. I love the pattern. It's really good. He likes to take like these little favors that you might do for someone,
Mm-hmm.
and like he uses that as a symbol to like how he'll like show love, because it seems like in a lot of the songs he's like, no, I'll love you, like I'll protect you, like I'll care for you, like I'll be
Mhm.
there for you. And a lot of it is like, oh yeah, we call late at night when maybe we should be sleeping, or like, oh yeah, can I get you Denny's, or like, can I, or yeah, what was the line in this last? Yeah, I'll wake up and I'll give you rides. Like,
Mhm.
oh, even if it's cold outside. That's I don't know. That's
That-
interesting.
Is that a double entendre?
I would that be a double? Dude, I don't.
I don't think
I don't
so.
know. Yeah, I don't think so. It seems like Grown Up Calls was the only one, and that one, I don't know, titles itself a grown up song.
On to track number 12, Never Matter.
Scary.
Whoa, lit.
Cause you know what? It's the fact that I'm not closer to letting anyone inside my life. Cause you know what? At least I think I tell her I don't know why
Dang.
I gave myself away. I don't know why I gave myself away. You know what?
That one's really good.
I think first up, I think that kind of lead up, that like ascending tone, whatever it is, that reminds me a lot of like in Daft Punk's Random Access Memories. They use a similar sound that's kind of like that ascending. It's like through a couple songs that I don't know. And I think he uses it well. I feel like the second half of that song kind of went on like a little bit too long.
Really? I was like, oh, this one also has an outro in a way.
Mm.
Wow.
I don't know. I feel like it would have been like a better outro if it kind of toned down the drums, maybe like simplified them, or like added in some kind of like ride to kind of make it like, I don't know, a little bit more. I
Yeah.
don't know, because it's very punchy at
Yeah.
first. Ooh, final track.
Yeah. Final track number 13. How is it wrong?
How's it wrong when I want it? She's someone I can't have. It's all a blur, and I know it can sound made up. Tell me where we are. I don't wanna beat myself up. Month over, two over. Don't see my days tonight. How's it wrong when I want it? She's someone I can't have. I'm pleased to get you now. A moment felt too short. Month over, two over. Don't see my days tonight.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a really good. I don't know. I think that's where I think I come around. I think I agree with you that it was particularly placed, because that's
Yeah.
a really good outro. It's like almost like a minute long. But yeah, and I really like. I feel like this one has like a pretty, like, I feel like you can tell what he's singing about, like
Yeah.
kind of the whole like, oh, I'm sorry I was away. Like,
I wonder if there is some sort of mini arc with him and this girl, since it seems like there's enough
yeah,
there.
me too. I'd be interested to like find like an interview or something
Yeah.
with him.
I think the whole thing works perfectly. I feel like this is like one of my favorite types of like music, where it's like a sounds you've never heard together in the same spot, in a way where only whoever made it can make it like that. And it's just like you can't get this music anywhere else. I feel like it's also like you can put this in the genre, but I feel like I it's like so many different things at once where I'm just like it's just his music. But I liked everything. I felt like it was very tight with everything. Lyrics were all good, beats were all good, and it just was a good experience.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite albums. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't really heard a whole lot like it. It's definitely, I really particularly, like, I really enjoy producer albums where people who typically kind of sit in on other people's tracks, like more popular artists. And I like when they make their own albums. And I feel like this album is a perfect example of that. I think, I don't know. I just like all the sounds, and I like any album that sounds like they're like experimenting and trying. Yeah, going off of what they want it to sound like.
Yeah. Well, if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. The Patreon is still down below, and we will see you